guys, I'm back at the nest here this morning, just about to jump in the shower, gonna make a pot of coffee, and I thought we'd hang out today, so let's get to it. Okay, I thought I'd show you the sprouts, and I'm just doing their morning rinse. I've added a little of the citric acid powder, about a 1/4 teaspoon, and I'll be putting these back in the cabinet. Again, angled in the dark. It's cooler here than it was last week when I first tried this, and I'm optimistic. So I'm going to finish rinsing. This is done, and then I'll finish these guys. Just started with the water now. So no action yet, but we're getting there. I'll keep you posted. I'll show you how I'm draining this with the cheesecloth. The only drawback with the cheesecloth compared to the mesh screen is obviously this is a lot easier, just drains right out. These, the seeds are having a tendency to stick to the cloth, but it's not a big deal. You just kind of knock them back off. See? And then there's still some there. So I just kind of gently tap, tap, tap. And that's it. So you don't need a special jar. And I've also gotten some really good recommendations from you guys on different methods to try. If this doesn't work again, then I will try some of the methods you guys recommend. I can't imagine that it is this difficult. I consider myself to have a real big green thumb, so I was surprised that I didn't have success the first time. But I'll blame it on the conditions, and we're going to try again. See you in a minute. This is how I'm storing them in the cabinet on that tray, so they're tilting. And they do have enough room for air circulation in there, so let's feed the birdies. Here's our card for the day. Okay, guys, before I procrastinate any further, I'm going to get my butt in the shower. You're looking at the table. That is still the Mission Inspiration and Gypsy and Witch page. I should have both of them done by the weekend, so not too worried about that. And then I'm going to drag out my sewing machine again. And someday I will have a studio where I can leave all of my projects out and they won't be like in the living room, you know? But I'm not complaining. I'm very blessed. I love you guys, and I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, I've pulled out the old crock pot and pulled together some stuff out of the fridge in the cabinet, and let's make some chili. I have a yellow onion, some garlic, a jalapeno, a couple of carrots, some celery, 2 bell peppers, and I'll chop all that and, cook that separately and then add it to the crock pot. And then over here, I'm going to put some black olives in it. You know how much I love that. Some kidney beans, some black beans. I may put a can of garbanzos. I have some organic sweet corn, which I like to add at the end. I'm going to use this. I made this homemade salsa like 3 days ago. And there's just pepper and jalapeno, red onion, cilantro, and chopped tomatoes. So I'll add that. And I normally have cans of tomato puree or crushed tomatoes, and I didn't. I knew I was going to make chili today, so I just grabbed this jar of tomato sauce from Tom's last night. It's 100% vegan, and it's this arrabbiata, which is kind of spicy. So it's spicy tomato and red pepper. So we'll just add that. And I have, spices, some dried red pepper, chili powder, some coriander, some cumin, and I'll do salt and pepper. And I have to share with you something that I'm a little bummed out about. I did not realize until just now that I love these Morningstar Grillers crumbles. It's like a substitute for chopped meat. Well, you guys, they're not vegan. Hello. Probably a lot of you already knew this, but I'm just double checking today, right? Because I've been doing that lately, and sure enough, they contain egg whites. I'm so bummed. I want to write to them like, why? There's no need for it. So I'm not going to throw these out because we paid good money for them. So I will use these in today's chili, but I'm not going to be buying these again. And it sucks. But also, what I want to try, so boo for you, Morningstar Farms. I mean, these are great if you're going to make a transition, you guys. Don't get me wrong. It's better than eating beef, okay? But I'm just bummed out about it because it's unnecessary to use the egg whites. Anyway, what we are going to try today, and I picked this up at, I told you, my new local health food store, the Green Earth in Wurtsboro, has this Bob's Red Mill High Protein TVP, Textured Vegetable Protein. I've always wanted to try this, you guys, and this will be my first time. And it says, Textured Vegetable Protein is a highly nutritious soy product. It's incredibly wealthy in complete protein and contains no fat, so it's an excellent alternative to meat. It's also a good source of dietary fiber, iron, magnesium, and phosphorus. Textured vegetable protein is made from defatted soy flour that has been cooked under pressure and then dried. It is very easy to prepare and takes on the flavor of whatever recipe to which it is added, making it an incredibly versatile addition to a wide variety of dishes. So basically what you do, and this is what it looks like, you soak this in hot water. It says to rehydrate, use 7/8 cup water or vegetable broth and 1 cup Bob's Red Mill TVP. And you just pour boiling water over the TVP and let it stand for 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to try that with just a cup of this, and we'll add it to the chili too to give it a try, and I'll let you know how it works out. So let me get chopping and I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay guys, so I'm just going to do a rough cut, and this is 1 yellow onion. I am not a professional chef. My knife skills are what they are. Self-taught cook in the kitchen, but I love to cook. And I will invest in a good set of knives one day, that's for sure. But anyway, so this is 1 yellow onion. I'm going to put some, heat up a couple tablespoons of coconut oil. And we're going to start this, and then I'm going to chop up the green peppers, do the same thing, as well as the celery and the onion and the garlic. We're just going to kind of throw it all in the pan, and maybe 5 or 10 minutes, just saute that, and then we'll add that to the crock pot with the rest of the ingredients. I'll show you on the stove. Okay, I'm warming up the saute pan, and here's the coconut oil. Just going to use a teaspoon or 2, and we'll let that heat up, and I'll start with the onions. Let them get, it's just on low, and we'll let the onions start sauteing while I'm chopping up the rest of the vegetables, and I'll add them as I chop them. I'll do the celery and carrot next. Okay, we'll let those go, and I'll start chopping the peppers. Now, ideally, I would have had all of my vegetables chopped before I even started cooking. That would have been the smart thing to do. But I didn't, so we're just going to roll with it. I turn the stove down. Cooking should not be stressful. I'm just going to chop these up. And again, I don't mince things, really. I always pretty much do a rough chop. I like a hearty chili, you know, but you can do it however you want. As I chop these, I'll add them to the pot. I'll do the carrots and celery next, and then the garlic and the jalapeno. Don't forget the jalapeno. Okay, here's 2 bell peppers. Okay, so we'll add the peppers. Basically, you know, a lot of the cooking will be done in the crock pot, but you just want to kind of take the crispness off the vegetables, if you will, and kind of saute and blend the flavors. So that's the reason for this extra step. You really could throw everything just right in the crock pot, and if you let it cook all day, it would be fine. But this just adds a lot more flavor. Okay, I'm going to get back to chopping. We'll do the carrots, the celery, and the jalapeno. And you guys know me. If I could save seeds, I will. These are from the peppers. I'll plant them along with the pumpkins. Okay, we'll do the celery now. And I wanted to show you, I'm sure a lot of you guys do this. I keep a bowl next to me when I'm cooking for scraps. And these will either go into a bag in the freezer for soup stock, or I put them in the compost pile, which is in a wooden box on my porch. I could snack on these. I'll go right in a soup pot. What's your guys' favorite chili recipe? Everybody has some. When I used to eat meat, I used to make one with beef and sausage. And some people use beer. Some people even put like a mole chocolate kind of sauce. How do you guys do it? Do you like it spicy? I love spice, but not to the point where I'm sweating or my face hurts. You know, that's not enjoyable to me. But let me know how you guys like your chili. It's already starting to smell so good in here, you guys. We'll just add the celery. And normally I would add some salt and pepper, you know, kind of season through each step of the way. but I'm really trying to watch my sodium now and sugar. But you can add some garlic powder, some black pepper. I will be adding the spices as soon as these guys get done sauteing a little bit. So season how you wish. Okay, now for the carrots and the jalapeno and the garlic, we're going to use some gadgets. I'm going to cheat a little bit and just use my handy chopper for the carrot and the jalapeno. And that's mainly because I don't want to get jalapeno juice all over my fingers right now. And it also dices up the carrot nice and small. And it's just easier. So it's optional. But sometimes, and it's easier than dragging out my big food processor, so I'm just going to kind of cut these up into smaller chunks. And we'll give those a whirl. And I have a garlic press for my garlic. I love this cutting board. Have I told you how much I love this cutting board? Okay, so we'll give the carrots a whirl, and then I'm going to use my handy dandy garlic press, which I've had for... oh, I don't know, probably going on 20 years now. So whirl up the carrots, and then we're going to whirl up the jalapeno. Okay, so this is what that looks like. And we're just going to add that to the pan, and then I'll do the jalapeno. Okay, you guys, I'm going to use just about this whole pepper. Well, actually, I will use the whole pepper, but I'm going to remove most of the seeds because that's where most of the hotness lies. And I'm sitting here telling you how I want to use the food processor so I don't get this all over my hands. And what am I doing? Getting it all over my hands. That's okay. Don't touch your eyes. We'll just whip this up a little bit. And like I said, optional according to taste. And we'll add it in with our other good stuff. Okay. This is smelling so good. I got a spoon. And you know what? I've decided not to use those Morningstar crumbles. I'll give them to Tom and Nick, and they will eat them happily. And I feel like writing a letter to the company even. Just asking, not a nasty letter, but just inquiring and maybe recommending that they try an egg-free version. What do you guys think? Look at me being an activist. Okay. We'll let this saute and cook down. I'm going to chop up some garlic and use my garlic press. And then we'll start opening cans of beans and putting everything in the crock pot. Okay? Okay, I love to use a lot of garlic, so I'll probably use half of this whole bulb here. And I'm just going to break it apart. I'll show you. I'm not going to show you each one, but... break them apart and just give them a good whack. Be careful, don't hurt yourself. And that'll get the skin off, okay? And then I'm going to put them in my handy dandy garlic press, which I love, and I told you I've had for years. I also love roasted garlic. I pretty much love garlic in everything. I'm definitely a savory girl. I'm not a sweet girl. I'm not a baker. I don't make cookies and cakes, and I'm not a chocolate person. I don't like sweets in general. But I do love savory, spicy. How about you guys? So this is just like a Play-Doh extruder. Put the garlic in. This comes like this, and it's gonna come just like that. Looks kind of gross, actually. So I'm going to get a bunch of this and we're going to add it, and I'll see you at the stove. And that's about 5 to 6 cloves. Okay, and here's our last step for sauteing. So I'm just going to let this go for as long as it takes me to open and rinse the cans of beans and get everything else in the crock pot. And then I'll come over and add this last, and then I'm going to put it on high and let it cook for about 4 to 5 hours. And we'll eat it with some rice and tortilla chips. So I'm ahead of myself. I'll see you in a minute. How could I forget spices, you guys? I just added about maybe 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder. I told you I don't normally measure, so I'm just going to give you, approximates here. Let's add some coriander. So maybe, I don't know, a tablespoon-ish. Half a tablespoon to a tablespoon of ground coriander. Let's do some cumin. Love, love, love. Same thing, half a teaspoon to a teaspoon-ish. I am going to add a little crushed red pepper, even though we did that jalapeno. So, same thing, a little bit. And I am going to put a little bit of salt in, like a tablespoon. And same thing with some ground pepper. You could add paprika, garlic powder. I don't know. What's your recipe for chili, you guys? I'm just using what I have in my fridge today. All of my recipes always vary, obviously, depending on what I have on hand. And I almost always cook for an army. I don't know who I think is going to eat all this stuff, but the good news is that it freezes well. So, yeah, I'm cooking for 30 people here. So come on over for dinner tonight, and you guys can have some chili. So now I'm going to go rinse off the beans. I was going to use garbanzo beans, but I decided to just grab another can of these kidney beans. These are light red. So it's a rainbow of beans in there. And I forgot to add the olives, but now that I think about it, I'm just going to leave them out, and I'll serve them with the chili tonight, just as a garnish. So I'll rinse these off, and they're going in the crock pot. So let's start adding ingredients, and I decided to add the stuff from the stove first. So we'll just dump that in. I've had this crock pot for years. Hasn't let me down ever. Knock wood. So we'll put all that in there. And then we'll just start adding stuff in. And like I said, I made this salsa a few days ago. Tomatoes, peppers, jalapeno, cilantro, red onion, garlic, a little bit of salt and pepper, and some cumin. So I'm going to pour that in there. Then we have our bean medley. Yummy. And then let's add, well, you know what? Here's our TVP, which I'm excited to try. It smells good. It smells like rice almost. Ooh. That's going to be good. It has the consistency of ground meat. I'm not just saying that. So I'm really interested to try this. So that's going in. A little help. I hope that's really good because who needs Morning Star? Okay, and last but not least, we're going to use this. I told you I would normally use either a can of diced crushed tomatoes or fresh tomatoes or something, but use what you have, and Tom happened to have this, so I'm going to throw it in there. It's got a neat jar too, so I'll make good use of that. And the ingredients in this are tomato puree, water, tomato paste, diced tomatoes, citric acid, sugar, dehydrated red bell pepper, onion, extra virgin olive oil, salt, garlic, crushed red pepper, chipotle pepper. So, pretty good. And I'm probably going to, right behind you is the sink, I'm going to add a little water to the jar and just get that last bit out. I'm going to put this on high and let it cook for about 4 hours, like I said. And after about 3 hours, I'll add this whole pack of corn. So I'll show you when I add that in too. So I'll see you back here. I'll just stir all this up now. And we're going to put the cover on. Like I said, give it about 3 hours. And we'll add the corn. And this, of course, like any good sauce or stew, gets better with time. So tonight's just the first night. Tomorrow it'll be better. The day after that it'll be even better. See you back here in a few hours. And then you gotta deal with all this. All cleaned up. Stove is clean. I'm soaking that jar to get the label off. Chili's cooking. Tripod's still standing there. Corn's waiting to go in. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and do some...
Who do you live with? Myself. You have your own apartment. I did. So you make a living from selling things? Yes. How much did you make last year from selling things?
Love my Judge Judy. Okay, it's been about 3 hours. This is boiling away. We'll add the corn. It's nice and thick. Smells amazing. I got this at Walmart, I think for probably like $1. Totally reasonable. I'm gonna add the whole bag. Tom likes corn and so do I. If you don't like corn, don't add it. The only thing I'm missing that I wish I have is cilantro. But there's enough cumin and coriander in there. It's just I can never have enough cilantro. But this is what we're looking at, guys. I guarantee it's going to be delicious. Okay, guys, I'm just going to grab a snack and I'm going to start doing some artwork. So I will see you back here in a little while. It's a long vlog today. It's hard for me to make them short. Anyway, these crackers are good. It's like Walmart's brand of a Triscuit. It's just wheat and I think canola oil and salt. I gotta watch my salt. But I'm watching enough. One thing at a time. See you in a little bit. Okay, guys, I feel like a complete yin yang right now. I just went into the refrigerator to get some almond milk for my coffee, and lo and behold, what did I see? I saw this, a package of field roast, vegetarian, grain meat sausages, Mexican chipotle. Okay? And the main inspiration for the chili today was to use these sausage in the chili. And I didn't do it. I can't believe it. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cook them right now. We're going to get a pan, put a little bit of water in the pan, take these out of there. These are like a plastic casing, and cook them up, and we're going to add them to the chili. I can't believe it. I knew I was forgetting something. See you in a minute. I just wanted to show you what these look like. Tom and I have had these once before, and they were delicious. We made sausage and peppers out of them. And again, I'll show you this label. We got this at the Green Earth Health Food Store in Wurtsboro. Shout out to them again. The brand is Field Roast. They do all kinds of grain meats. They also have a Frankfurter. That's all I've seen by them, but let me know if you've seen anything else. What do we got here? Filtered water, vital wheat gluten, expeller pressed safflower oil, onions, garlic, apple cider vinegar, naturally flavored yeast extract, chipotle peppers, onion powder, granulated garlic, brown sugar, sea salt, barley malt, spices, black pepper, paprika, oleo resin, chili de arbol, chili de arbol, okay, peppers, cumin, and oregano. So that's what's in them. Let's see, 250 calories per sausage. They have quite a bit of sodium, but no cholesterol. Here, you guys read the label. Can you read it if it focuses? But they're delicious, so let me cook them and add them to our chili. Just going to cook these for about 10 minutes to crisp up the outside, and then I'll slice them up and add them to the chili. Okay, guys, these are done and chopped up, and I'll stick them in the chili, and they can finish cooking in there. Now that's a hearty chili. It would have been fine without the sausage, but it's just going to put it over the top. Yummy. A journal page in the making. How quickly things change. Listen, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I'm waiting for Tom to get home from work, and we're going to bring the chili over to the cave and have dinner over there. I may post a pic of it, and if I do, I'll insert it in the video. But it's been really cool hanging out with you today, and I'll see you very soon. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And have a beautiful night. I love you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.